This episode is brought to you by Magic Mind's Magic Supplements. Drink them for your mind to feel like magic.
Crush procrastination.
There we go.
Is that the actual motto?
That was really good.
It is.
It's on there. If it's not,
It's pretty good, right?
That sounded very legit. It's almost like if this band thing doesn't work out, which it is.
Dude, I was a marketing major. I'm saying.
Voiceover guy.
Thank you very much.
You got a radio voice.
I appreciate it, man.
He's got a radio face too.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Hey.
This face was made for radio.
I've got a radio body.
But guys, I mean, thank you guys for coming in such a pivotal and important period of your career and your life. I mean,
Thank you for
Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo. I mean, not just from a professional level, but from a personal level. As musicians, you guys have got to be on cloud nine.
Yeah, it's super cool. It is super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or no, we're not there yet. You know, we can tell like we've been building up to this point for a long time, and then we feel like there's still so far to go. So, but it is cool to know that we're in the good old days, you know? Right
Yeah,
now.
I feel that.
This is the journey, and it's cool to be able to at least step back and see like, oh, it's working, even though we still are not where we want to be.
True. But yeah, I don't know. I still kind of feel like a kid a lot of the times, and we're just going and been really fortunate to play really cool venues and kind of like live our dreams out. And when big opportunities like Lollapalooza and Bonnaroo, thank you, they come through. Sorry, I'm just like, but when they come through, like it's like it just feels like a dream come true. Like you said, like these are things that I've been to some of these festivals like as a participant. You know what I mean? And to like actually be working there and like giving back the joy that I felt when I was there, paying to be there. I think that's really cool.
But like Manny says, you guys have like the foresight to like kind of stop and smell the flowers. Like, yeah, you guys are doing that, even though there's still stuff to go. You guys are, you know, and we know so many bands in Nashville that the process is not always easy. So you guys are kind of grateful for this step. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, you know, that's something we've tried to maintain. We've sort of willed ourselves to see things that way in some ways, but also our career so far has made it kind of easy to be excited about stuff and happy about the way things play out. Because I feel like we're also very fortunate to have worked with a lot of people that have helped us to get here. So
That's true.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. I wanted to ask you a little bit about, you know, when you had that breakthrough that you wanted to not pursue journalism anymore. Because we'll get to some other stories in a minute. Because I find the story fascinating, right? Because you're interning at CBS.
Yeah.
Okay. At that 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty badass as it is from a journalism perspective.
For sure, yeah.
Like, that's, you're way ahead of like 90% of kind of students at that point. What was like the moment where you were like, was there one moment or was there like a season where you're like, man, this is great. I'm working with all these top dogs, but I just want to write some tunes. But
Honestly, that was the feeling right there. It was like going into the office every morning and it feeling like you're a part of something super cool, but then like it didn't quite fulfill me in the way that, you know, after I got my work done, I would sit at my desk and just like pull up my song lyric Google Doc, and just like, I like that. Can't wait to get home and try that. Wish I had a guitar.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I worked so hard. No, and then I think getting back to school, and then like I still obviously struggle with this, like feeling like you let, you know, all the people down who like really gave me these opportunities and pushed me to that level. Was that hard? It was hard telling certain people in my life, some professors, mentors, but then, you know, all it took was one or two people who I felt really cared about me, and they were like you're gonna do amazing at whatever you do. Follow your passion, follow your heart.
yeah,
And I think the justification for me was just like, it's all about stories. Like, it's all about storytelling. That's the reason why I got into journalism. I wanted to tell stories. I'm doing that. I'm doing the same thing with the music and with these guys. We're just telling a story. We're telling our own story of Happy Landing, sharing that with the world. But we're also, you know, telling little stories about so many different things in our music. And so I just think that I have more passion with what I'm doing than I did with the story. I still love talking to people, and I love doing like what you're doing, either
But writing, you can tell that you're a journalist. Oh, that's cool. Can you expand on that? No, I just think, like you said, the stories that you guys tell in the songs, like cool, like they are extra level good. Like they are three-dimensional characters, and there's details. It's that they're fantastic, and then you think to your point.
It's all about the detail. It's a good story.
Absolutely.
So
Let me ask you two guys. I mean, Jacob, I'll put you guys on the spot for a second. Obviously, you guys are married, or have someone who is divorced. You know, it fascinates me that you guys are touring North America. You guys have this big tour the rest of the year. You have this creative side, you have the personal side, all under one bunch. I mean, I used to, if I brought the wrong cheese from like the grocery store, we'd like, okay, we need 10 minutes on. Yeah, How do you guys kind of like, balance that and, with the whole band, the camaraderie and the whole thing?
Oh gosh, I mean, for all of us, the 5 of us essentially are just a family now. And we kind of operate as a family. It's like a road trip, honestly, whenever we're on tour. And so, for each of us, it's, if we're somewhere, we always seek our alone time. We always seek our individual activities to kind of keep us sane. And I would say it's kind of the same here. When we're home, we also still have jobs, so we have separate jobs then. But I don't know, right now it's fun because we have all these adventures where someday we're going to get to tell our kids and our grandkids about, back when we were cool and we were in California playing music. It's just we feel very fortunate right now.
yeah, I think it makes it easier.
Sure.
It would suck if one of us was on the road and one of us stayed at home. I think it makes it easier. That's fine. But also it just works. I don't really know how to qualify it.
I'm sure that is perfect.
I'm sure it would be hard for other people. But
We found our alone time when we made it, but it's also great. The fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? And that makes total sense, the fact that someone is not at home. Yeah, that's a good one. I would feel like, how about that? So guys, you guys started in 2020. That's pretty. You get that reset, then you guys are amassing this great following and such, great stuff already. This momentum. How was it in that period of time? Because it was hard for bands to many of them split up, many of them, it was a hard year. Clearly. Yeah, and COVID, the cycle was where it was twist it and make it an advantage. How were you guys able to do that?
Yeah, gosh. I think I've been thinking about it recently, but because it's such a weird thing, especially when you're, I think that the fact that we entered a sort of shattered music business economy because of COVID made it in some ways easier for us, because I think not for all of them, but for certainly a lot of the bands that suffered because of COVID, it was because a lot of stuff ended up changing and made the model of how people were doing things before so much harder to get to work. But we were showing up to all of our first gigs and our first festival bookings and our first private events this is our first time. We were kids in the realest sense, sort of taking things just as they came at it.
Yeah.
So none of the stuff in the industry so far has seen all that shocking to us. It's all just been totally new. So the economy of it after COVID has been easier, I think, to navigate just a little bit because we didn't have any expectations beforehand. Mm-hmm. And so we tried to just do things in the way that makes the most sense to us as we're looking at things, head on. And it's we mostly tried to handle things, I think, the way we always intended to. We try to work with people on a personal basis and just develop and maintain good friendships with people. So, yeah.
And what else was there to do but play music? And one time we had to, we were it was as soon as we could go back to, or start, honestly, not go back to, start playing shows, it was we were ready. And this,
Everybody had their pet projects in COVID, you know what I mean? People started picking up painting or puzzles. Yeah, totally. Whatever it was. And this for us, this was us.
What in the bread?
This was ours. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is our bread. This is our shared bread. This is our sourdough. Yeah. What exactly?
what's interesting is like, I don't know that, I feel like a lot of bands were banking on COVID to end so they could start touring and plan a tour. But we like knew we wanted to tour, but we didn't really have any prospects for that. We knew we wanted to go play in other cities. Like, oh yeah, maybe we'll get to play in Tennessee or Alabama.
Right.
But we really didn't have on our radar meeting our booking agent and then doing a full tour a year later. Like that just wasn't, at least in my mind. I think I told them, I was like, yeah, we're going on tour next year. But I didn't know how to do anything on it. Yeah. So, it was just such an interesting time.
Me and Matty just like, we just decided we were going to move here. Because like we graduated a year before them, the rest of the band. And we were like, Nashville? Surely, like why not? And yeah, like you said, like, yeah, touring was the kind of near goal, but it was kind of not happenstance, but it was like we were very fortunate for like our now team to have like fallen in our lap, and me and Matty were already in Nashville, and then once they graduated, it was like boom, let's go on the road. So summer after they graduated,
I do want to ask you guys about Mississippi, but I'm finding out something just from this time with you guys. There's such joy in your music, and like there's such joy from your souls right now. And I'm realizing that a lot of it has to do that you guys don't have expectations, and you guys live with this beautiful state of gratitude. And you nailed it. The source of all pain, whether it's with friendships, relationships, career, is expectations. When you trade your expectations for appreciation, that's cool. And then that seems like you guys are living. And it's a beautiful thing. And I think that's why everybody seems to love you, and fans and critics, and everyone just has this connection.
our tour manager, and it's funny you say that, because our tour manager, he said something like he's toured with a few other bands before, and he's like, you guys just seem like you have fun. And I was like, that's because I'm pretty sure none of us thought we would be here.
Yeah.
You haven't read. And also, like, why would you want to do this and not be having fun? That seems crazy. Well, what you said, it's like when the expectations, trading expectations for gratitude, that's like so well said. And I'm going to take that with, that's beautiful.
That's like every opportunity we get that's like cool at all, which is cool, but really we're on the phone, we're like, oh my gosh, it's just that red call ball in the middle of nowhere. It's like,
I to my dad. Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. I say that a lot. I gotta call my dad.
It's so interesting, that question, or that statement, because I feel like we are pretty joyful as people, but it really is like something you have to practice, gratitude. Like it doesn't come naturally to anyone, really. Maybe some people, but like I feel like a lot of times I do have expectations, and when like a festival recently we played, like after the set, I was pretty bummed. I was like, dang, there wasn't that many people there, and like we didn't get to play very long and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I should just be grateful to be here, And so I think you're so right. When you have those expectations, and sometimes you can let yourself down, and that makes it not fun.
I mean, you gotta, it's a habit. Because, our brains are like 2 million year old brains are made for survival. That's true. Yeah, man. The beautiful thing. Yeah, man, to your point. Matty, tell me about Ole Miss, by the way. Yeah, but then tell me about, like, you guys. Oh, it's like what was, I know you guys graduated early, but what was, like, what's it like? Yeah, you just tell me, just take me into, like, their senior year or whatever, like, just take me there.
I'll start it off, and Andrew's from Oxford, so I'll let him talk about it, but just we are all in similar but different circles. It's a cool place because like it has this image of a certain type of person, and like you're not gonna have fun if you don't fit in with this crowd. But then like I'll send it to Andrew, because like he was in a fraternity, but he was also very artistic and musical, and in like church groups and like all this stuff, and so it's just a cool place. It's a cool culture.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think for context, Oxford, Mississippi is a college town in the SEC. What are the values of the city? It's college football. It's religion, drinking, partying. So it's this weird, like, it's a very strange, like kind of contradictory place, but it somehow all kinds of seem to like shake out and work. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and there's a reason that people go and they call it. It's referred to as like the Velvet Ditch because people they find themselves there, and it ends up being so comfortable that they don't want to leave. And it's such a just a complicated and funky kind of space. William Faulkner is from there, and so like all of kind of his writings were really layered and complex, and it came from like the characters that lived there. So I don't know, I'm getting into the weeds, but like it's such a complex space, and I think in some ways conformity is kind of a commodity in some spaces, and like to try to form a band maybe probably won't be the craziest thing, but to take that band on the road and like actually give it a shot might kind of raise some eyebrows. And what we found is that I think even if that is the case, people were still, especially during COVID, they were still like itching for like just something to do, something to go support. And like after each show that we played, we really felt the support from the fans that we were making. And we could tell that they believed in us as much as we believed in the project. And they're saying like, this is real. This is super real. Like, you guys need to hit the road. And we're like, well, why don't we hit the road? You know what I mean? And so we didn't really have all these expectations, but like there have been people along the way that I feel like have really bought into what we're making, and they're like supporting us. And we're like, okay, well, these people believe in us. Like, we got to believe in us too. Like, why are we not doing this?
I love it.
So I don't know.
I think that our music kind of reflects that, what he's talking about. Just like I think our music is, the lyrical content at least is very nuanced. You know, life is very nuanced and complex. It's like, you know, it could sound happy on the surface, a lot of our songs, but maybe deep down there's layers to it of like conflicting with like other emotions. Cause you know, like nobody's just completely happy. And I think a lot of the characters in our songs are that way as well, just like the characters where we're from. And so with all its complexity and nuance and obscurity, I think that Willie Morris is another author from Mississippi, and he says something that I really relate to, and I think our music kind of relates to as well. It's like, you know, as much as I love going all these other places and seeing these other things, I feel bad for people that don't have a place like Mississippi to come back to.
So magical.
Absolutely. You know?
Well, guys, well, you guys have said it all. Just remind us when the album comes out. It comes out June or July?
July 12th.
July 12th. Obviously, lots of festivals in summer, and then not headlining tour in the fall.
So, yeah.
When is the tour?
Starts in September and goes through November.
Guys, congratulations. This is just the beginning on Rocket Ships. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here for the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from J-Rod Concert Media.